In this technical video, we will explain in detail the essential safety protocols and cutting procedures for the controlled felling of large trees on steep, uneven mountain slopes. The crucial first step before starting the chainsaw is to carefully evaluate the natural lean of the trunk, the crown weight distribution, and local wind speed to set the drop zone. The operator must wear complete personal protective equipment, including an industrial helmet with a metal mesh visor, high decibel hearing protection, and reinforced cut trousers. Inspecting the base of the specimen allows for the detection of cracks, internal rot, or structural stress in the bark that could compromise tree stability during the first cut. It is essential to clear at least 2 diagonal escape routes on the opposite side of the planned fall direction to evacuate quickly in case of an unforeseen structural failure. The logger places their feet firmly on the mountainous ground, ensuring a balanced posture that prevents slipping on accumulated underbrush and fallen branches on the hillside. When starting the high-power chainsaw, verify the proper operation of the mechanical chain brake and adjust the throttle before making direct contact with the hard timber. The first technical incision consists of making the directional notch, which will guide the exact trajectory of the tree's collapse toward the cleared landing area. A top cut is performed at a downward 45-degree angle, keeping the arm firm to control the continuous vibration generated by the guide bar of the chainsaw tool. The depth of the notch should not exceed 1/3 of the total trunk diameter, preventing premature weakening of the base structure before completing the lower horizontal cut. The second notch cut is made horizontally from the lower section until it meets the angled cut perfectly, forming a clean wedge block of wood without jagged splinters. Removing the carved wooden block opens the directional notch, allowing inspection of the inner fiber to confirm the precise line where the tree will fall upon final release. Before proceeding with the back cut, the operator must look up into the upper canopy to verify that there are no dead or hung branches ready to snap and fall overhead. The back cut, or felling cut, is executed from the opposite side of the notch, positioning the guide bar slightly above the level of the horizontal plane of the directional notch. It is vital to preserve a strip of intact wood known as the hinge, which acts as a mechanical pivot preventing the tree from twisting out of control or falling backwards. The hinge controls the speed of the fall and prevents the trunk from kicking back onto the operator, guaranteeing that the tree follows the path calculated by the notch. As the back cut advances slowly toward the hinge, the immense pressure exerted by the crown begins to open the kerf, signaling the imminent collapse of the structure. The logger immediately withdraws the chainsaw, engages the mechanical safety chain brake, and evacuates through the designated escape route down the mountain slope. The majestic tree collapses with a deafening crash, hitting the ground with great force and scattering loose branches and vegetation over a wide safety radius. Once the tree has come to a complete rest and all movement has ceased in the area, the technician assesses the stability of the fallen log before starting bucking operations. Logs lying on steep hillsides pose a serious risk of uncontrolled rolling, so workers must always stand and work from the uphill side of the mountain slope for safety. Delimbing involves systematically removing side branches from the base to the crown, while keeping the chainsaw bar properly aligned to prevent dangerous kickback events. Special attention must be paid to limbs supporting the weight of the log on the ground, as they store high elastic tension that can strike the operator when released. When cutting a branch under tension, a small relief cut is made first on the compression side to prevent the wood from splitting violently as the cut completes. Technical marking of the felled timber sets standard commercial lengths required by the sawmill, optimizing wood recovery while minimizing structural waste during processing. During the bucking process on the main log, high-impact plastic felling wedges should be driven into the kerf to prevent the heavy wood from pinching the chainsaw bar. The operator gently taps the wedge into the upper slot using a mallet, opening the necessary gap for the cutting chain to rotate freely without getting jammed. If the log is supported at both ends, the initial cut must be made from the top down into the compression zone to prevent the guide bar from becoming pinched midway. Conversely, if the log is overhanging at one end, the first technical cut is executed from the bottom up, penetrating 1/3 of the total diameter of the log. Constant inspection of the surrounding ground prevents tripping while moving around the collapsed tree, maintaining 3 points of solid contact on uneven terrain. The chainsaw chain must be sharpened regularly, using a round file of the correct diameter to maintain maximum cutting efficiency and reduce physical operator fatigue. A dull chain produces fine wood dust instead of large, clean chips, overheating the guide bar and significantly increasing fuel consumption during continuous operation. Proper lubrication of the guide bar and chain using biodegradable vegetable oil is essential to dissipate the extreme heat generated by friction during heavy cutting. The fuel tank must be refilled with the engine completely shut off and cooled, using a filtered funnel to prevent debris from entering the carburetor fuel system. Operators are required to wear sealed protective eyewear to shield their eyes from wood chips, flying sawdust, and high-velocity debris thrown from the guide bar. Anti-vibration gloves reduce hand muscle fatigue and help prevent long-term vascular disorders caused by the prolonged operation of heavy forestry power tools. For large diameter trees exceeding the length of the guide bar, an advanced plunge cutting or bore cutting technique must be applied into the heartwood of the trunk. Plunge cutting requires inserting the nose of the bar with extreme care to avoid kickback, applying full throttle before penetrating straight into the timber body. Once the guide bar is fully inside the trunk core, the saw is fanned gently to remove internal material without altering the thickness of the outer holding hinge. This advanced maneuver weakens the resistance of the inner hardwood before making the final back cut, facilitating a clean drop for massive forest specimens. In rocky mountain environments, operators must avoid letting the chain touch the ground or loose stones, as contact will dull the steel cutter teeth instantly. When the ground is unstable, transverse logs or skids are placed beneath the main trunk to elevate it slightly, creating a safe clearance above the natural terrain. Communication between crew members must be clear and constant, utilizing standardized hand signals and emergency whistles due to noisy machinery operations. No one is permitted inside the fall danger zone, which equals twice the total height of the tree being cut, unless specifically authorized by the lead faller. First aid kits stocked with rapid compression bandages for severe bleeding must be readily available at the work site and easily accessible to all crew members. Daily work planning factors in local weather forecasts, suspending felling operations immediately if strong, unpredictable wind gusts are detected in the canopy. High winds can suddenly twist the trunk during felling, breaking the holding hinge and redirecting the drop toward unintended areas or onto the operator. Wet bark and moss accumulation on older trees increase slip hazards, requiring the use of professional forestry boots with heavy-duty steel spikes or cleats. At the end of the shift, all machinery must be thoroughly cleaned of pitch and sawdust buildup around the sprocket cover to maintain optimal tool performance. Sustainable forest management requires carefully selecting mature trees while preserving young growth and protecting biodiversity within the surrounding ecosystem. Slash and smaller branches are distributed evenly over the forest floor to prevent soil erosion caused by heavy rainfall on the exposed hillside slopes. Bucked logs are sorted by grade and diameter before being moved by heavy skidders to the landing zone near the main access road for transport processing. Mechanical winches and high-tensile steel cables facilitate the extraction of heavy logs from steep ravines up to safe vehicular loading points on the mountain. Heavy equipment operators must be fully certified in operating forestry cranes and tractors, ensuring precise and safe maneuvers around ground crew personnel. Attaching lifting chokers to logs requires identifying the center of gravity to prevent dangerous load shifting or slipping during high-lead cable yarding. Access roads must be kept clear of fallen debris and earth slides at all times to allow smooth movement of timber trucks and emergency response vehicles. Environmental impact assessments define protected buffer zones around streams, where tree felling is strictly restricted to prevent riverbed sedimentation, Felling trees on extreme slopes often requires safety harnesses and positioning lanyards to anchor the operator securely to stable structural anchor points. Harness tension must be checked before climbing, ensuring all carabiners and quick connect buckles are locked properly with zero risk of accidental release. Tree topping or sectional dismantling requires specialized techniques to remove the crown in small pieces before felling the remaining tall trunk structure. Each section cut at height must be rigged and lowered using control ropes managed from the ground by a qualified ground worker to avoid damage below. Tree climbers use lightweight, compact, top-handled chainsaws equipped with rear attachment points to secure the saw safely to their harness during climbing. Steel climbing gaffs are driven firmly into the thick bark of the trunk, allowing secure and stable vertical ascent along the length of the standing tree. Climbers must maintain 2 independent tie-off points while performing any cutting maneuver in the tree canopy to prevent falls from accidental line cuts. The physical condition of crew members is monitored constantly to prevent heat stress, extreme exhaustion, and dehydration during rigorous field operations. Constant intake of water and electrolytes in the field is mandatory to maintain the sharp focus required when operating hazardous high-power cutting equipment. Tailgate safety meetings at the start of every shift serve to review specific site hazards, emergency protocols, and daily task assignments for all workers. Every worker has the right and responsibility to stop any operation immediately if an unsafe condition is identified that threatens safety in the field. Cleaning the cylinder, cooling fins on the chainsaw engine prevents overheating of the 2-stroke motor during continuous heavy-duty cutting operations. Fuel mixing must be performed using proper octane gasoline and specialized synthetic 2-stroke oil mixed to the exact ratio specified by the manufacturer. Flammable fuel storage must be kept in approved safety cans located in shaded, well-ventilated areas away from any potential ignition sources or sparks. Portable dry chemical fire extinguishers must be positioned at fueling stations to handle any accidental ignition rapidly in the dry forest environment. Felling softwoods requires higher chain speeds and steady feed pressure to prevent the bark from tearing or slabbing during the initial undercut phase. On dense hardwood species, the chain depth gauges must be adjusted to prevent aggressive biting that causes rough operation and severe saw chatter. Aluminum felling wedges are effective in frozen or dry timber because they resist deformation under extreme pressure inside the narrow backcut opening. When driving wedges, operators must use a soft-faced mallet or wooden sledgehammer to prevent flying metal fragments caused by steel-on-steel impact. Monitoring the shape and size of ejected wood chips helps diagnose chain sharpness and proper cutting performance throughout the entire felling process. An overly tight chain causes excessive wear on the guide bar rails and drive sprocket, while a loose chain can derail suddenly from the bar groove during use. Proper chain tension is verified by pulling up on the bottom rail. The drive links should remain seated in the groove without sagging below the bar edge. Periodically flipping the guide bar ensures even wear across both rails, significantly extending the operational life and precision of the cutting assembly. Removing burrs from the guide bar edges with a flat file prevents sawdust clogging and resin buildup, ensuring smooth rotation of the saw chain loop. On heavy forward-leaning trees, the back cut must be executed, leaving a thicker hinge to prevent the trunk from splitting prematurely along its length. Barber chairing occurs when a tree under high tension splits vertically before the back cut is finished, kicking massive wood slabs back at the operator. To prevent a barber chair on leaning trees, a bore cut method is used to set the hinge first from the inside, releasing the back wood safely last. Maintaining the correct angle on the chainsaw bar ensures that the notch cuts and the back cut meet in a perfectly parallel, clean line inside the tree. High moisture content in harvested timber requires controlled air drying at the lumber yard before milling to prevent warping and cracking in finished boards. Stacking harvested logs is done on elevated supports off the ground, separated by stickers to encourage free airflow through the lumber piles during drying. Safety rules in the log yard strictly prohibit unauthorized foot traffic near operating heavy loaders and transport trucks during unloading procedures. Detailed logging of harvested timber volume per hectare allows foresters to measure yield accuracy and plan appropriate reforestation efforts for the area. High-quality seed trees are preserved during harvest to maintain the natural genetic reservoir and support natural regeneration on the logged hillside. Monitoring stored logs for wood-boring insects is conducted using pheromone traps and regular bark inspections across all stacked timber inventory. Transporting logs on heavy highway trucks requires securing the load with high-test steel binder chains and automated tensioners to prevent shifts. Driving heavy haul trucks on steep mountain haul roads requires constant engine braking and retarders to prevent brake overheating on long downgrades. Temporary warning signs posted at forest road intersections alert motorists to heavy equipment entering the roadway at slow speeds around blind curves. Strict adherence to all technical protocols detailed above ensures a logging operation that is efficient, productive, and above all safe for the entire team.